and Kurian ma'am being an exceptional rank holder and gold medalist psychologist, she would be able to do that in a powerful manner. So kindly share the poster and the link with your students. Now, Martinez Training College, IQAC, Extension Wing, all of us are really delighted that many people are joining these programs and making use of it. And I would like to request you to stay back till the end, till 12 o'clock, and fill in the Google form. Only then can you be sure that you will be getting the online certificate as well. I would like to welcome all of you to this program. First, please, all of you open your video. We shall have a screenshot with our resource person. So please, if possible, switch on the video now. Thank you, thank you. Let me take 2 screenshots. Dear friends, when we take class, we request our students to keep the video open. So that is the only one request given by Anne Kurian ma'am. Kindly try to keep the video open. Over to you, Abhrami.
We are very much obliged and delighted to have a great personality amongst us, none other than the psychologist Anne Kurian ma'am. Our principal has already introduced her with her key features and a lot of new words like eucharist, vocalist, podcaster, and whatnot. A hearty welcome to Miss Anne Kurian, and now let us all lend our ears to her addressing. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much. Is my voice audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
So I was discussing, I'm not great in Malayalam, I have to tell you that, but I'll try my best. I was discussing it with my friends that, how do I introduce or how do I start it with a banger? And then my friend came up with a question, and she just said that I should ask you this. So I'm going to ask you this. Lanu happy alle. That's what she told me. Lanu happy alle. It's apparently some new movie, and awesome. I see a lot of cheers. That's amazing. That's great. This session today, this talk, this discussion is going to be a two-way street. When I come here, I do understand the fact that we all have many different experiences. So this is not going to be me just telling you things. I would love to learn a lot of things from you. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Please do help me with it. And guys, I would love it if you can, more of you can, join us on the video so that I can see your expression. And even if it's going bad, you can just still give me a good expression. Yeah. Okay. So today's topic is going to be celebrating neurodiversity. Now, when I said that we're going to, write celebrating diversity, I was asked a wonderful question as to why do we celebrate this? Isn't this an issue? Because when we talk about neurodiversity, we are talking about how diverse our brains are structured. We're talking about especially the kids who have ADHD or have dyslexia or dyscalculia or dysgraphia. We're talking about those cases. So why are we talking about celebrating it? Well, my answer to that was that you can see anything in two ways. You can maybe call it a glass half full or a glass half empty. It's basically a choice that we make. When I talk about kids who have ADHD or kids with dyscalculia, I am trying to say that with lesser resources, they live in the world as you and me, sometimes far more beautifully, and that is what we are going to celebrate here. Yes, we are going to discuss things that they might be lacking at, but we are also going to discuss wonderful ways that they see the world in. Am I understandable? Am I comprehensible? Is everyone getting me? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Awesome. Great. Wonderful. 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 Awesome. You guys have beautiful smiles. I just want to say that. Wonderful smiles. Okay. I'd like to share my screen. Sir, may I?
Sure. 1 second, ma'am. 1 second.
Yeah.
So you are already host, ma'am. Try to share.
Okay. Right. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Give full screen, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So, celebrating neurodiversity to ensure holistic development. I would like to mention that when we talk about holistic development, I want to introduce, just a minute. Yep. I want to introduce the topic inclusive education as the way for holistic development. I'd like to know from you guys as to what is inclusive education. I'm sure we have all heard a little bit about this. Can I get a thumbs up from the people who have heard the word inclusive education? Okay, I see a lot of people. That's awesome. If you can come on maybe the audio and just tell me of the first word, 2-3 words that come in your mind when you think about the word inclusive education. Can I get 2-3 words, or can somebody maybe even type it on the comment section?
Individualizing instruction according to the needs of the students. Individualizing instruction according to the needs of the students.
Yes, yes, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. Any other words and any other words that come in your mind?
Conscientizing smart people to take care of people who have got some special needs always.
Wonderfully put, wonderfully put. Okay, I see some hands raising. So would these people want to unmute and answer? Lindsay, I see Lindsay Matthew. Are they allowed to unmute themselves?
Are allowed, ma'am. They were agreeing with you that maybe that hand.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's that.
They have heard of inclusive education. They have heard of inclusive. Okay, that's
awesome. I would like to read a few answers that our friends have shared on the comment section here that they have mentioned. I don't know if I'm taking the name right, but it's Archel Grace, and she has said that including even the students with disabilities. Well, when we're having a discussion of this sort, we use the word disabilities. Although I beg to differ a little bit, that we do not call them disabled kids, that we call them specially abled kids. And the reason why we do that is that one very simple funda over here is you and me, we have all of these resources. We have all the attention that it needs to take up a conversation. I mean, we have maybe well-built sensory organs and everything, or our receptions and perceptions are working well. But those kids who do not have these things, have these resources, live in the same world as you and me with lesser resources. Resources under we get so stressed. We get so, our head starts messing up. I mean, even me, and I know you guys can relate with this part. But in the same world with lesser resources, they are surviving, and so we call them specially abled and not disabled.
Ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Wonderful answer, Achal. And Rio has written education for all, no discrimination on the basis of anything. Wonderful, absolutely. Gayatri has written overall development, both personal and professional. Wonderful. Jamila has written, including all students, access to education. Beautiful, beautiful. Arya has mentioned all children in the same classroom, in the same schools. Interesting. Lakshmi has mentioned providing different methodologies according to their capabilities. Well put. Jojo sir has mentioned mindful of differences in learners. Beautifully put. Vinny has mentioned, oh, she's mentioned that she's there. Great. Happy to know that, Vinny. Provide opportunity to all by Jojo sir. Wonderful. Sapna has mentioned considering needs of all categories, and then somebody has, Rabia has mentioned diverse and flexible curriculum. Sapna has again mentioned equity. I love how you've put the word equity, not equality, equity. And I'd like to be discussing, sharing a poster for it in a little while. Sapna, very well put. Syama has mentioned equality for all kids. Equality, the better word I think would be equity, and I'll show you why. From everything that I understand about inclusive education and a few little research that I have done about it, I'd like to share this on my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen shifting. Can everyone see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So it says inclusivity. So many of you have actually answered all of these things. So it says inclusivity towards various needs. Understanding the fact that when you enter a class of 40 children, you are entering a zone wherein there are 40 different kinds of needs. Everybody is taking something from a very different reason. Identifying and catering to individualized academic goals. This is exactly what Jojo sir had mentioned. Individualized academic goals, and IEP, in our new education policy, this is something that is a highlight, that the individualized education goals or academic goals. Basically understanding the fact that if I have 30 children in my class, 5 of them might be exceptional in mathematics, and 5 of them maybe might not that be great, and maybe be far less than average. Catering to those needs, understanding the fact that I'm not allowed to label them just because they have less marks in mathematics. And there's this one thing, that my mother says. She's also an educator, and she says this thing that she asks this question, and I'd like to ask you guys this thing. The question is a child, how do I put this, an empty pot or a growing tree or a growing plant? Yeah. When you teach a child, what is the idea that you keep? That the child is an empty pot or a growing plant?
Growing plant.
Growing plant, yes. Yes. Although many of us, when we go to teach in the classes, or when we are, going towards the students, we go with the idea that they are empty plant, empty pots, that they do not know anything, that we have to tell them everything. Well, there are a few things that I'd like to mention over here. Very recently, I happened to a growing plant. Wonderful. I happened to hear from one of my students, and this child is in class 5, and he comes to me and he asks me, "Ma'am, do you know about the dark web?" And I'm like, "Yo, I don't know about it. What is it?" And then he goes, "Oh, dark web is the place wherein they run organ trafficking, and they give grenades and guns and all these weapons, and you get all kinds of drugs. They do sex trafficking." Well, you are thinking, when you don't talk about these things in the class, they do not already know. Well, children know a lot much more than us. And for everybody who's hearing about dark web for the first time, I want to tell you that you and me, we cannot directly enter a dark web. This is basically a parallel universe that runs in the internet world. And to reach there, you have to know some kind of coding or some kind of hacks. And this is where the kids are today. So when we go for individualized academic plans, I like to name it as education plans as well, because education is a lot much more than academics. Talking about celebrating diversity, every child is valued, respected, supported regardless of race, gender, and ability. Somebody had mentioned this thing over here. Now, see, being loved is a beautiful thing. I mean, everybody likes to be loved, yeah. But to be respected is something else. When you are respected by your partner or by your friend, it's a very different thing. So when we enter a class, we are respecting all of those abilities that the child has. You know, many of the times when we are talking to the students, we tell that, you know, is this an exam that you're worried about? Your problems are nothing that serious. You should come at our age, you know. Younger age is actual real problems. We have to look for the family. We have to look for the money. We cannot take holidays like you guys do. We have to constantly work. We go home. We take responsibility of them. We keep aside so many of our wants. And you guys are only thinking about yourself. You're education, you're getting food to eat, you're getting everything. Then why are you worried? Well, this is something I want to talk about. When we were in school, my friends, when we were in school, we have faced times wherein we have, you know, little marks have stressed us a lot, or some relationship issues have stressed us a lot, or friendship issues have stressed us a lot. So I want you to understand that when I talk about being respected, I talk about the fact that we get into their shoes, empathize with them, and also understand that in their age, they are dealing with a heavy load of things. Am I understandable? Is everyone getting me? Yes, no? Can you give me a cheer? Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Oh, I see a heart. That's cute. Okay. Talking about the last point mentioned over here is not tolerance, but unquestioned and unconditional acceptance. You are not tolerating a child. When a teacher, when a child in a class is not able to, you know, reach their maximum potential, then it's not the child's problem, then it's the teacher's problem. The teacher has to crack a way. Maybe making them understand things on the board is not understandable to them or is not comprehensible to them, and that's fine. That just means that we have to come up with a different tactic to make that child understand. And with that, also understanding the fact that if the child is coming and learning in their own ways, you are not tolerating it. You are unconditionally accepting it, unconditionally loving them for the way they are. I'd like to move to the next part. There is a little video that I'd like to share, but before that, this one image, you know, where you are talking about equity, and this is one image that just comes to my mind. So it's a crow. It's a what all are there? Can anyone switch on the audio and tell what are the animals that you see here?
Elephant, monkey,
fish, seal, dog.
Awesome. Good job, kids. Good job, children. Appreciation. Okay, now, in this one image, this dude is asking the person as to, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. And I'm sure many of us have already seen this comic strip before. Now, the monkey is able to do it. Maybe the crow will be able to reach a far more early. But the penguin, the fish, they cannot reach. And that does not mean that they are not able. That just means that they are differently abled. And that's where we talk about the equity part. Equity talks about giving children what they deserve according to their needs, not according to us. There's this beautiful book on love, and it's some Japanese thing. It's not ikigai, it's just something else. I'm not remembering the name right now. And we've always heard about this fact love others the way you want to be loved, right? Have you heard of that? Yes, no? Love others the way you want to be loved? Awesome. But this book happens to differ. And I love how it differs. It says, love others the way they want to be loved. Don't love them according to the way you want to be loved. You might like, maybe, if you're having a bad day and somebody gets you a paratha or somebody gets you a masala dosha and you're good to go. You just feel happy. You feel loved. Or somebody gives you a small sticky note and tells you that, hey, I'm proud of you. Maybe that makes you happy. Maybe somebody sends you a small voice note singing your favorite song and that makes you happy. That makes you happy. That need not be the way, or that need not be the language of love that the other person has. Likewise, when we serve kids, we serve them according to their needs, how they like it, not how we like it. Yeah? Yes, no? Awesome. I would love to see more people. I would just want to say, Leena, thank you so much for putting your video on. Sarama, you guys are doing a great job. You guys are great source of motivation.
Shall I tell something, ma'am?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
In a school in Bangalore, Ashwati, one of our former students, she has gathered 40 plus 2 students. They so through LCD projector, the entire class is watching your video, ma'am.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Bangalore.
Wow.
Hats off to Ashwati. That video is shown here. That video of the. So let me display that for a moment. Let me display that for a moment.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, the video, the students are having that class. Can you see them, ma'am? That video?
My screen is loading right now. Oh, yes. Yes, I can see them. Hello, everyone.
Hats off to you. Hats off to you,
wow.
Dear students. Really proud that all of you joined. Special thanks to Ashwati. Special thanks to Ashwati.
Thank you, Ashwati.
Ashwati, you can also show your face, Ashwati, please. No words.
Lucky kids.
This is simply superb and amazing. Thank you. Okay, ma'am, carry on.
This is amazing. How cool is that? Can I share the screen, sir?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Amazing. It's such a wonderful. I think this is the best, hands down, one of the best talks that I've had. So many kids. This is amazing. I'd actually want to share a video. This video is very close to my heart. The name of the video is Class of Rowdies. I'm going to be sharing the video. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah? Okay, wonderful. Can everyone hear the audio?
Is the video visible? I can't see that.
Can everyone see this right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let me just try this once more. Yes. Now you should be able to see it. Now can we see it? Awesome.
Abhrami, can you see the video or is there audio?
Can you guys hear the audio as well? Can you guys hear the audio?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
We can do.
Awesome.
Today is my first day and I will be taking all your science subjects, so let's start off on a good note. Not that note, thank you. So let's start with a nice round of introductions. My name is Sakshi and I love working with young people.
My name is Anish. I was a topper last year. My IQ is 145 and I've got double promotion once.
My name is Andy. I like dancing. My name is Jason and I like to play the guitar.
Okay, everyone's done except the last roll number. Zara? Where is Zara?
Zara is a zombie. 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 Zara is a zombie.
Send it on. Gaurav, I'm going to kill you. Hi, how was your day? Good morning, class of rowdies. You do know that's the name the rest of the school has given you, right? This one. I will not leave the class. Okay. Every day, 2 students will come here and present anything that they are passionate about. There is only one rule. You must show respect. So who is courageous enough to accept the challenge?
From anything?
Yes, anything.
Our topic is everything you wanted to know about the birds and the bees, but are afraid to ask.
Sequined in the night sky as the stars shine, they tell a million stories, some of yours and a few of mine.
Today, we will be teaching you the secret of flight by building a rocket. That balloon over there is also a rocket, but it does not go very far as it does not have any wings to give its flight a direction. So you see, in life, it is very important to have something or someone, yes, or someone who can give you direction every time you're going astray. It helps you go very far in life. Morning class. Today we have prepared a very interesting topic for the class. Today I'm going to tell you about the physics of dance. But before that, my friend here is going to give you a small demo.
ask you something? The class of rowdies has really changed. How did you manage it? I haven't done anything. I just created a space where no one is judging them, where they can learn through their own interests. So everyone's done with their session except Zara. Zara, come on. Zara, 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 Every rowdy class is a voice, waiting to be heard, wanting to be understood, wishing to be loved. Thank you, ma'am, for listening to us. Thank you for not giving up on us. Thank you for finding the reason for our rowdiness, for giving a channel to our craziness. Thank you, ma'am, for finding the poet in a zombie, for setting me free, for letting me be. No matter where we go and what we do, we always carry in our hearts a part of you. Dear ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen right now?
Ma'am. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Before I say anything, I'd like to have a few thoughts from you all about this video. What did you understand from it? What was your perception? Because I know everyone has seen the same thing, will have a different observation. Can someone share? And it'll be great if you can come on the audio. Yeah.
Teacher is our second mother.
Yes. So beautifully put. Yes. Yes. What else did you understand from this video? Or by the way she was handling the children. The children must be given a chance to express themselves. Well put. Well put.
If students are sleeping in the class, the teacher has to go and wash her face.
Yeah. The student's face or the teacher's face?
Teacher's face.
Okay.
If the students are misbehaving, the teacher has to find new
Oh,
ways to.
wow. That's amazing. I'm going to steal this line, Rudu sir. I'm going to use it in my next session now.
Yeah. It's given by one of my friends. Okay.
Yes.
Not my own. It's given by one of my friends.
That's great. That's great. That's a brilliant line. One thing I absolutely like in this video is, how they were behaving with each other and how they were behaving with Zara the zombie, right? And then how it changes into everyone standing up and applauding for her. This is something that comes from how the teacher happens to, behave with the children. If you are respecting towards somebody, if you're respectful towards somebody, towards the students among themselves happen to have that wave that they would just gently be nice with each other. But when the teacher picks up a students, and very recently I heard of this situation that this child is basically going through depression, and one of the major triggers that happened with this child was this child is a little flamboyant, okay? And the teacher pulls him up in the class and says that, "Are you gay?" And the teacher then, was of course, this child did not go to the school for the next 2 weeks and had bad fever, this and that. And the fact that the children to this day also remember that line. The students of their class, they do. So everything that we actually say, that stays with her. Let's go back to our school days. There might be some amazing things that your teacher might have written on your almanac, your diary, or might have said to you, you remember that. But more than that, you remember the things, the hurtful things that your teachers have told you. So these words that we say, even to correct these children, are extremely important. I'd like to move to the presentation. I do understand the fact that we have 15 minutes together.
Ma'am,
yes.
If everything is fine with you, so I think we can take go up to 12:15, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And in case you guys are sleepy, let me know. I'll go wash my face. Yes. Some people have written, and I'd like to read this. Ansi has written, teachers should be based on the interest of the students. Beautiful, Ansi. Superb. Jodu said that his eyes are wet, saying how she's important. Yes, same. Every time I watch this video, I get goosebumps and have teary eyes. Aishwarya has mentioned cultivating a learning environment where all students are treated equitably, have equal access to learning, and feel valued and supported in their learning. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. There's ideally this one little game that I play, and if we met offline, I would definitely play with you guys. But I want to tell you how this game works, so that maybe you can, in your class, you can do this to make your children understand, or the teachers who are, guiding other teachers can help them with this thing. So ideally what we do is, all the teachers, they make a circle. Okay, everyone, we all make a circle, and one teacher is planted right in the center. Now say, suppose this is the teacher. Okay, now there are students who are, or there are people, participants who are standing on this side, who can see this side of this teacher. You guys can see which side? What side of the mobile can you see right now? What can you see here?
Back side.
The back side. What all can you see? Can you spot anything? Can you see anything?
Different cameras.
Yes, right? This black cover, the front camera, this is something that you guys see. You do not know what's happening in this side. You do not know what's happening in this side. You do not know what's happening on this side. You know this side of the story. So when we go into a class, we go with the understanding of the fact that we only know a part of that child. We do not know them completely. And guess what? Don't feel pressurized to know everything about a child. Even if you try to do your maximum for the child, you might go back and, in psychology, we do this thing that we go for, understanding a child's history and everything. But even then, there are things that are hidden, that I will not be able to know everything about the child. So when you go to them and when you label them, understand the fact that you do not have a 360-degree view. You are not even obligated to do that. But if you're not obligated to know the 360-degree view, then we are not allowed to label them as well. I hope that made little meaning. Thank you so much. You guys are really responsive. I do see a lot of people cheering and everything. This is going great. I would like to talk about majorly the topic right now, the neurodivergence. And it says people whose brain differences affect how their brain works. Now we are 136 people over here. That means 136 brilliantly different brains. No brain is, absolutely the same. And that's a very beautiful thing. And that is something that we talk about in neurodivergence. It has been mentioned they have different strengths, challenges from people whose brain don't have those differences. There are these general set of brains that usually have the same kind of parameters where they work. And then there are these set of brains, the neurodivergent. Divergent is different. The differently made brains, they have a different set of order. Now, in these, we talk about people who have any sort of medical disorders that leads them to learning disabilities or such conditions. Now, before I move on to this, can anyone tell me, or maybe write on the comment section, what are the different kinds of neurodivergent cases that you know about? Neurodivergence, in the spectrum of neurodivergence, what are the things that come? Wonderful. ADHD, I see. Yes. What else? What else? 40 in the class, 176. Yes, Juju sir. Autism. Yes. Okay. OCD. Anything else? Anything else that we can think about? Okay, hyperactivity. Let me narrow down the question for you. Can you name a few learning disabilities? Dyslexia. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anything else? Dysgraphia, dyscalculia. Very good. Wonderful. Dyspraxia. Yes. You guys are writing in such amazing speed that I'm not able to read the names of everyone. But you guys, I'm so proud of you. You're doing a great job. I know you have 100 things to attend right now, but you're still listening to this. And that means a lot for me. The next thing that we're going for is, like you guys had mentioned, ADHD. Now there are two kinds, if you talk about it. There is ADD and ADHD. ADD is attention activity attention. Can anyone complete the sentence? Attention. If in audio, it's okay. Attention deficit disorder.
Hyperactivity disorder.
Yes. Can anyone tell me the full form of ADHD?
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yes, that's exactly what it is. We are first going to talk about the inattention part of it. And when I share this thing, I would love for you guys to write maybe a few real life examples that you might have seen. Before we get into the explanation part of this, there's one little story that I want to share. So this one time, I'm dealing with this child. He is 6 years old, and the special educator that day did not come, and I was happy to take a session for him that day. And we're doing a few activities, and a teacher walks in the counseling chamber, and she's asking something, and she has a set of books and her mobile staying like that on the set of books. Okay. Now, this child only looks at the back side of the camera, the back side of the mobile, and he starts telling a bunch of features. Itne megapixel alle, itne GB alle, and he's able to tell all of these features, which normally for that person who's even bought the camera, bought the mobile, would have to go and Google when somebody asks iska endo features. This child was able to tell all of these things. So with that, I want to tell you that somebody who has ADHD or ADD need not have intelligence deficit or intellectual deficit. These are two different things. Talking about the inattention part right now, so they fail to give close attention to details or make careless mistakes in school or at work, because of course when you are trying to give them instructions, they are not able to comprehend to it. Now understand this fact that sometimes in some extreme cases you could be talking about something that absolutely interests this child. This child loves Pikachu or Pokemon, or this child loves to talk about just any cartoon, right? Or loves the gaming world and they're talking about it. But even if it interests them, many of the times they happen to diverge. Their attention happens to diverge. They cannot attend to you. Even if they want, many of the times uncontrollably they can't. Although now I want to tell you that there are some updates in the researches that in a few cases, there are children who can maintain attention even when they have ADHD, only for things that they can actually like. Now, talking about the next part, this is difficulty in sustaining attention. So if you have given them an activity that takes a lot of time, like reading a lengthy thing, you've given them a novel to read or a long YouTube video to watch. They cannot do that. And guess what? In this era that we have reached, our attention also has been greatly hampered. Long back, they would have this 6-hour, 7-hour theater. Can anyone tell me what is the Malayalam word for it? For these long theaters that were done? Nadagam, is it? Or is there another word for it?
Nadagam.
Many of them used to go for like 6-7 hours also. And then we came into the world of movies where they showed for 3 hours. And then we had YouTube, which showed videos for 30 minutes and 20 minutes. And then we had TikTok for a while, and they had videos for 1 minute. And now we have Instagram that shows us a new content, a new space, a new topic in every 2 to 3 seconds. And that is one of the major reasons as to why our attention has generally gone down. The shorts, yes, Lakshmi, yes. Now, my point is, this is a general condition. So you understand the fact that when somebody is going through an issue or deficit of attention, it is so much more less that they tend to zone out a little bit more, like mentioned over here. Often, this does not seem when spoken to directly, that they get distracted, they zone out in conversations, they do not follow through instructions. So there is a possibility that when you identify a child suffering with, or I don't want to use the word suffering, dealing with ADHD, you might want to repeat the instructions in different languages as well. You might want to change the way you talk to them, be a little bit more comfortable with them, but you would still have to give them instructions. Something as simple as, glass avade vakku. E glass avade vakku. Yes, go there and put this glass there. On the table, not on the floor, on the table. On that table, not on this table, on that table. The brown color, yes. You have to be very specific with the instructions that you give them. Is everyone getting this? Yes or no? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're getting this? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wonderful. Again, I would love to see you guys on the video. Please do come on the video. I know this gets a little irritating, but I would love to see your expressions. Okay, Rabia has a partner also. That's amazing. Okay, talking about a few other things, I'd like to surf through this quickly. Difficulty in organizing or managing their tasks. Usually when you look at their room, it's supremely disorganized. Although if my mom is attending this right now, she would say that she sees the exact same thing in my room. But no, Mama, it's not about that. They have usually issues in organizing thoughts as well. Like when you're telling them the sequence of a movie, say suppose they've seen a movie, okay? Even when they're telling that movie to their friend that this is what I've seen, it's very hard for them to tell the sequence. They might tell scene 1, then scene 5, then scene 2, then scene 10. They get a little messy even there. They have poor time management, fail to meet deadlines, disorganized work. Now, there's this one little thing that I've come up with. The last time I took this session, somebody from the participants, they just stood up and said, "Ma'am, I have everything. Of all of these issues. I have time management issues. I have work management issues. I failed to meet deadlines." Well, not everybody who has these things is an ADHD person. People these days love it. It's like a thing. They want to say that, I have ADHD. I have seen a few Instagram profiles where in the bio, people write hashtag ADHD. No, dude, it's not a hashtag to have. It's a silver line of difference. If you're extremely tired, you might, have issues in managing your time or this deadline. If you know the work is extremely important, full ratri, you complete the thing. You anyway complete the thing, right? But for these people, even if they know that it's a thing of life and death, even in those situations, it's very hard for them to meet the deadlines. Then they often avoid or dislike, are reluctant or engage in activities that require mental effort. So this child that I was talking to you about, the 6-year-old child, um, he had absolutely wonderful memory, but then you cannot expect him to write A, B, C, D in a line. So what we did was we would give him colorful sand and he would write A, B, C, D with his fingers on that. He loved the computer, so he would write, things on the computer. Or there are times that we had to teach him, 0 to 9, the counting, the serial order. They have issues in the order, right? And he was in ADHD, so understand that he has hyperactivity issues, and we had to channelize his energy in the right place. Otherwise he will start banging his head and all of these things will happen, to make sure the energy goes the right place. So we would make him stand at one end of a classroom, and we would keep a couple of numbers on the cut from a cardboard. We would keep it there, the colorful ones. He would take one number and place it at the other end of the classroom. Then we will shout the next number 4. So he'll come and place number 4. Then we'll say number 9. He'll put number 9 at the end, so that he also understands there's so much distance. He understands the serial order. He identifies the colors, and all of these things happen with them. So when you teach these kind of kids, this is something that you want to go for. These people happen to often lose things. So if you give them car keys, or if you give them a mobile phone to hold, there's a possibility that they might lose it, because of the very simple fact that when they are not able to understand or comprehend or attend to something, if it has not gone inside the brain, if it has not been processed for 30 seconds at the least also, it has not gone to the long-term memory. And if it has not gone for the long-term memory, there is a huge possibility that when you ask them, where did you keep this thing, they'll forget it, because they have kept it somewhere. And the last thing that, for the adolescents, there's something that running their daily errands, or returning calls is something, are a few things that they forget. Understand the fact that they are not doing this because they want to hurt you. It's not that they are not returning calls because our ko 3 ego issue, 3 attitude, I don't know Allah. This is because they genuinely forget these things. They forget for paying bills and keeping appointments, all of these things. Are these things that you can learn to manage? Yes. Can ADHD be completely taken off? No, it cannot be taken off completely. It's a neurodevelopmental issue. It is something that people are born with. It is innate. The word is innate. You are born with it. There are set of disorders or disabilities or special abilities that you are not born with. You acquire, you learn them. You can heal those completely 100% also, depending on the level that they have. But in all of these issues, it's very hard. Talking about the hyperactivity part, so they often happen to fidget a lot, or they, doing this with their hands. Is my video clear for everyone? I mean,
yes, ma'am, it's clear.
So they do this a lot. They need to keep moving their fingers, or they tap their hands, or sometimes flapping also, because they need some sort of energy release. They cannot sit in a place for a long period of time. They squirm that when you ask them to stand also, they will stand and they'll keep moving. They'll keep their feet in different places, and you're asking them, dance stand there straightly, stand there upright. They cannot do that. They cannot do that because it's this unconscious need that they have to do this thing. And then they often leave the seat. Now, even if you are you're teaching this very interesting thing, or talking about this one interesting story in the class, they would still want to use the washroom. Now, they don't want to go to the washroom, okay, but they just want to move somewhere. Sometimes you would find them roaming around the class, and then they would say, oh, and the pencil, he's sitting in the first bench, but the pencil is in the last bench. Okay, or you would say that, oh, my friend called, or I didn't have an eraser, so I've come. They'll have everything, but they will still have this need to move. In these cases, let them move. I happen to teach psychology to class 11th and 12th children in Delhi Public School, Raipur, and therein there are a bunch of students that have identified that they do not like to sit and study. So I tell them that they can roam around in the class as long as they're listening, or come by the board, that they don't want to write things on the class in the notebooks. So I ask them, come write it on the board. Whatever you're listening, write it on the board. They'll have to stand near the teacher's table. I let them stand near there. Some students want to sit down. Let them do that. If it's not hampering their, academic goals, if it's not a major rule breaker, let them explore. Let them move around. It is fine. They often run around, and for adults, it is just that they are very restless. They often are unable to play or engage in a leisure activity. Like, take for example, if they are playing Ludo, they'll not be able to sit. Now, they love this game, and most probably they're going to win this part. They would still want to move. I'm better than the vellam kudichittu varate. I'm better than the washroom in the varate. So they will have this need to move even if they are doing something that they're interested in. A few other things is that they're explained by the teachers that they are always on the go, driven by motor, that they're extremely restless. They talk a lot, and even before a question completes, they want to answer. Our topic but they still have a doubt and they want to ask right now. They want to know the answers right now. We've not, now even if the teacher says that, once we reach that topic, you can again ask me that question. Oh, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in the next page or in the next class. They'll not have the patience to wait at all. And they are not trying to disrupt the class. Many of the times we see them as people who are trying to, tease, or everyone know, I'm not getting the right words, but they're just trying to, create a mess in the class. That they are trying to create a fish market. No, it's not many of the times it's not a conscious thing that they are doing. It's just happening unconsciously to them. And they have difficulty waiting for their turn. So even if they're waiting in a line, or if they go to the washroom, or, even if, maybe they are standing by the movie hall, I'm talking about adolescents buying tickets, they'll not be able to stand there. They need to move completely there. And they often interrupt or intrude on others. Now, I'm not just saying conversations. Even if this other person is maybe, doing some important work, filling an important document, they will still want to talk a little bit. Are we getting this? Yes or no? Awesome. Awesome. They're just last two things that we were going to be covering up for today: dyslexia and dyscalculia. Dyslexia, like you read, it's a language or reading disability. I'd like to know from you guys, are there any facts or interesting features or stats that you know about dyslexia? You can maybe put in the comment section so I could read it out. By that time, I want to read what Devina has mentioned. She says in Netherlands, one young girl, age 28, suffering from borderline personality disorder, autism and depression, allowed mercy killing. Wow. I don't know what to make out of it. I mean, they know the situation best. Nothing really to comment on this, because this is very less information to really judge on this whole thing. You do not know about the family part. You do not know the social economic status. But I feel that there is still things that can be done. But thanks for sharing, Devina. Anybody who would like to share a few things about dyslexia? Taking that as a no. Dyslexia is again an innate issue. This is when the children happen to read very painfully, very slowly, and they have a lot of errors. They cannot read clearly, and even when they are writing, they write Q as P, P as Q. They have that kind of an issue. That they exhibit difficulty in recalling words. Ipporu word parnu. I've said the word deforestation. Now, if I ask them to repeat the same word, they'll not be able to say that. Ma'am, can you repeat? You have to repeat 2-3 more times, and then maybe they will be able to understand that. So that is something. They have difficulty, of course, in the written language. Spellings, you cannot expect them to learn for a long period of time. This is something that I'd like to share. The first one, figure C, this part is something that you can see. This is a case of dyslexia, wherein they have tried to write something. True teachers can read this actually. This is the other one, the blue and red one. This was a card that was made by one of the kids, and it was Christmas. And they would call me Didi. So my name is Annie. I mean, they know me as Annie. So when they wrote my name, it became Lena. Do you see that? So they have issues in understanding or writing spellings. They have written Happy Christmas Day, but you can read it as, their pronunciation is Happy Christmas Day. Happy Christmas. That's it. Happy Christmas. And so that's why they have written it like that. Their pronunciations and their writings, many of the times they take a lot of time to understand. This is one more. Talking. So there's this one little video that I'd like to share, but because we do not have too much time, sir, should I share the video or should I post it in the group? So it's a 1 minute video.
Oh, please show it that. Please show that.
Okay. Do let me know if you guys can see the screen. Can you see, guys? No.
No problem, ma'am. If you find it difficult, you can share the link in our chat.
I think I've been able to reach it. Can everyone see this?
No, ma'am. You're not able to see. Yeah.
Now everyone can see it, right?
Yeah, please.
Okay, great.
Dyslexia look like to someone with dyslexia? What does the text appear to look like? Here's an example of the text going three-dimensional. It just doesn't stay still. It just sort of pulls away from the page a bit. It makes it a bit tiring to read and a bit tricky. It certainly doesn't help your fluency, and I wouldn't want to be seeing it like that. Here's text that's shattering or splitting apart, or it looks like a pane of glass is just sort of broken into pieces. Not a fun way of trying to read. Certainly if your child has this, they're not motivated to read, because really the words shouldn't be moving like that for them. And here's what happens when words are sort of disappearing from the page. Different kids will have this to different extents, but you don't want this. This really slows down your fluency. It's also tiring, it's frustrating, and man, imagine what it feels like to be reading like that. And then this is sort of where the lines of text sort of go a bit wavy. The words aren't three-dimensional, they're not shattering on the page, but they are definitely moving, and the more they move, the harder work it is, and just tough yards. I would not want to be trying to read like that. Here's words that are sort of shaking on the page. Often people with dyslexia will say the words are shaking, and you can see how tiring this would be. You know, you can read for a while, but you sort of get over it pretty quickly. Words shaking is not really in anyone's favour. And here's words that are sort of swirling, where right in the middle where you're looking, you can see clearly enough, but around it, the words, they're swirling. They're just not clear. They're sort of going blurry. And the area that you can see clearly is limited, and that's going to slow down your fluency. Basically.
Right. I hope that was clear. Imagine a child seeing all of these things and being forced by the teacher, you know, read. No, you can see everything. You're blind or what? No, ma'am, the words are dancing, or the words are, you know, not visible, or they're just shaking. It's so funny when a teacher is hearing to all of these things. It's not even funny. The teacher gets irritated, thinking ki there's not a possibility this is happening. You can see this is 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see my fingers. You can't see what is written over there. So this is something that they do go through, and I would definitely share the link with sir so that he can post it in the group, so that you can also, when you talk about dyslexia and you are talking about all of these cases, you can show that this is exactly what they are going through. Because we don't blame the teachers. I'm not blaming the teachers. Of course, they do not know everything. There's only so much that they know. Just so that they can be more aware, you can share it with your teacher friends. Just a minute. The last thing for today is dyscalculia, and in this they have issues in learning concepts of place value, quantity, number. Something as simple as this: if you're talking about an adult person, for 2 people, they'll not be able to do that. They'll make it maybe for 10 people, because they do not have a measure. They do not know the quantity so much. So for them to figure it out, it takes a little time. They have difficulty in understanding the word problems, difficulty sequencing informations or events, especially with mathematics, where in questions that there are steps involved. They might lose a few steps, and of course, they do not end up getting the right answers. They show difficulty in understanding the fractions. So these are things that they majorly find an issue with. Now, the reason why I'm talking about these specific things is to mention that they do not have an issue with everything. It's not like maths. They can do little bit of maths, but majority of the things where it involves a lot of logical, mathematical, scenarios, they might not be able to perform that well. They have issues in making change or handling money. They display difficulty organizing patterns when adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. They have issues with understanding the language that is written for maybe a mathematical procedure. If you're telling them, the carryover chayanam, they'll not be able to understand those technical words. So you have to find out a way that the child can understand it the best. You might not be able to use those technical words with these children. They have difficulty in understanding concepts related to time, such as days, week, months, seasons, quarters. This is one little thing that happens. You might notice this. This is one of the many things. Note that thing. That when you ask them to look at the time, and if it's an analog, not the analog, the other one, then the normal one. I don't know what that's called. But if you ask them to look at the time and tell you the time, they'll not be able to do that. Or even if they do, they will take a lot of time. Or in some extreme cases, there are children who happen to start shivering the moment you tell them, tell me the time. They'll start shivering because they cannot read it. They cannot understand. They know small hand, the long hand, they know the seconds hand, they know all of that technically, but when it comes to the practical part, they'll not be able to tell all of these things. These are a few examples as to how they do. As you can see it over very clearly, 36 is 6 plus 3. 40 is 41 plus 0. Or 26 is 4 plus 2. And I'm not sharing it of very young kids. This is comparatively kids who can do addition, subtraction. Either our case. Now understand the fact that this is dyscalculia. There are issues with numbers. They might be absolutely amazing with language. They might be amazing with sports, but this is something that they face an issue with. You can see these handwritings, and this is something that they happen to do. They have issues in sequencing. You can see 2, 3, 9, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. This is the sequencing issue. Is everyone getting this? Yes or no? Awesome. Now, I have one little help that I needed from you guys. If one of you can please read this. Just read this. Any one of you, any one of the participants? Okay, go for it. I think somebody raised their hand. You just have to read it. It's just that. It's simple.
Shall I? Please.
Yeah, Lena.
Carry on.
Okay.
I am present in every place you go. Depending on your lens, I am friend or foe. I am a force to be reckoned with. Like the winds of change I move, I am swift. I am present when two or more are together. If embraced, I can make the good even better. I am not limited to age, gender, or race. I am invisible at times and yet all over the place. Don't exclude me due to a lack of knowledge. Welcome me like the recruit fresh out of college. Let me take my seat at the table, even though I may be differently able. My experience, my passion, the authentic me can help add value for your company. I exclude no one. I am strengthened by all. My name is diversity, and yes, I stand tall. Recognize me and keep me in the mix. Together, there is no problem that we can't fix. I am your best hope towards true innovation, and to many I reflect hope and inspiration. Do all that you can to truly embrace me and experience life's fullness totally. I am the thought lurking behind the unfamiliar face. I am the ingenuity that helps your team win the race. I am the solution that came from the odd question that was asked. I stand out in the crowd when I am allowed to be unmasked. I am diversity, embrace me, and we will journey far. I am diversity, include me, and we will reach the shining star. Coupled with inclusion, our lights burn longer. Together we are smarter, better, and stronger. I am diversity, yes, that's me.
Wonderful. Can we give a cheer to Lena for reading it? Oh, all hearts, all hearts. Awesome. Amazing, amazing. That was all from my end. Now you can all go wash your face. So will I. But
please stay back. Please stay back. Now, beautiful day, beautiful moments. I would like to thank the resource person, and we have got the magnanimous presence of Dr. Teresa Susan here, our exceptional department head, University of Kerala, former department head. Thank you, Lena, for that splendid narration. Now, dear friends, before concluding the program, I would like to tell you two things. You have to fill in the feedback form and leave. Don't forget that, okay? It's mandatory that you fill in the feedback form here itself. That's really mandatory. Otherwise, we will not be able to send you online certificate. There are technical problems as well. Now, we have got another program tomorrow evening, a splendid program for all people, especially teachers. Now, Dr. Raghu V, former controller of exam, Rajiv Gandhi Central Institute, Sri Perimbudur, will be delivering a talk on the key to teacher excellence. And he has got 54 years of teaching experience. Mark that, and if you want to join the program, it's really important that you can join the extension wing of Martha Training College. That extension wing link will also be provided here. And after the vote of thanks, the feedback form also will be shared. Stay back for a few more minutes. Respected ma'am, I'm really delighted that this was an exceptional program. Now you can send your emojis and thank her now. And it is also really important that all of you chat. How was the session? All of you have to give a chat. How was the session? As far as I am concerned, I got plenty of ideas. And I loved the way you delivered the talk from the very beginning till the end. You were very interactive. None of us yawned. None of us.
Yay! Good job, everyone.
Yeah. None of us felt tired. No doubt about that. Each one of us enjoyed the way you delivered. You can share the short video, the class of rowdies I have. You can simply Google that. You can watch that again. The other video link, if possible, you can provide in the chat. And dear friends, this talk is recorded and it will be available in YouTube for a second visit as well. Now, I would like to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. I would like to especially thank Abhirami and the Shiny teacher, Deepthi teacher. A special thanks to ANSI teacher. ANSI teacher is doing all the works behind the curtain, spending many hours for the success of such programs. No words to thank you. And my dear Theophilites, I'm really delighted that you have joined and you have shared the link to as many people as possible. My gratitude to you as well. Now I am sharing the feedback form. You can fill in the feedback form, and I will also share the link of the extension wing of Martha Training College after the national anthem. ANSI teacher, will you play national anthem, please? Or should I? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Keep in touch with MTTC. We are offering such outstanding extension programs for the betterment of the society. You can stay tuned to Martha Training College Extension Wing and YouTube as well. Around 130 invited talks are there in YouTube. Thanks to Dr. ANSI and all the international conferences, national conferences, all the keynote addresses are also in YouTube. You can check our YouTube channel live link. You can watch the videos of chief secretaries, IAS officers, vice chancellors, central government ministers, Kerala chief secretary, all those people delivering their talks. Now over to my students. Since we the program extended for a few more minutes, no problem, ma'am. We loved that. And the PTA meeting will be held tomorrow evening. Some commented that evening would be ideal time for PTA meeting. That's why PTA meeting will be in the evening. 1 second. You can click copy and paste that link and paste somewhere and click it. Because I clicked it, the link is working. No problem at all. No problem with the link. National anthem.
If I may just say this one thing. I just want to thank Jojo sir for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Abhirami. I see your name as Ayusha, so I'm just confused. But thank you for all the wonderful things that you've said and for nodding the whole time because I was looking at your face and I was understanding that probably everyone is having the same face. And thank you, Leena, and thank you for all of those people who kept commenting. Really, it means a lot to me. This is one of the best sessions that I have had, and you have made it so. So, just thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for those that beautiful epilogue of yours. That was brilliant. Really thankful to you. That shows that you are a philanthropist. So the Google form of the extension wing is also provided by me now. You can WhatsApp link, and the Google form is available in the chat. You please stay back, fill in, and go, so that you will be receiving the certificate by email. Thank you. God bless everyone. Let's stand for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you will join tomorrow evening for Regisar's The Key to Teacher Excellence. Thank you. God bless everyone. Salute to you. Answer teacher, special thanks.